Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, in this video tonight, I just want to tell you a few things that's on my mind. Right now, I have been bombarded with calls to travel all over, do all sorts of construction, and etc. And the more I traveled here lately to work, the more I'm starting to see less and less people out and more cops on the street. And not that I have issues with the police, but if you look at a lot of these states, you've got like the lockdown orders and all sorts of stuff going on. One of the things that's interesting to me is that if you look, and hold on just a second, right here, that book right there, okay, and got one of my knickknacks from where I'm going to set up all my other rest of my Indiana Jones stuff in here in my new office. That right there, which is your papers for working in the Third Reich, would say that you put these two together, and that's about what America is slowly evolving into, is a mixture of something between socialist Nazi Germany, Third Reich, and Orwell's 1984. If you put that down in a little blender and you just turn on the power button for a minute and just let it do its thing, I think whatever pours out the other side here in about a year or two is going to be a fine definitive feature of whatever Amerika, and I'm spelling America with a K now, for all y'all to know what I'm saying. That's what you're starting to look at. And listen, I want to tell you something. I've made some videos here lately, and somebody said something to me that occurred, and I have to always take a step back anymore and understand that although I think on a quantum level about a lot of things and try to process things and look at it through the lenses of Scripture and living in the last days, etc., a lot of people would say that the content I've made, especially in the past month or two, is fear-mongering. There's nothing to be afraid of. The kingdom of the Most High Yah is going to come. Now, you can either be a part of that or not. That's your decision. And ultimately, it's the Most High Yah's decision in the great day of the judgment. But, you know, the thing that I said, all this right here, is that if you just take a look at the world we're living in currently, with the states going on lockdown, and even the state of Tennessee here, I'm thinking, somebody said to me that apparently here soon, if I understood right, and now this is hearsay at the moment, because usually I can be like, guys, right here, documented. But, you know, you look at the situation, and apparently here coming soon, you're going to have a paper that says your employer needs you at said time, at said place, so that you can pass through. That's no different than the Wehrmacht or the Gestapo stopping you, asking you where your papers is at. Like I said, the only reason I own this little knick-knack is because I've got it to go with some of my Indiana Jones knickknacks that go on the thing, because Indy was always into it with the Nazis, right? Fighting them. But this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, that right there was in the 30s and 40s. History always repeats itself. What is it Solomon said? There's nothing new under the sun. And, you know, you see this revolving door effect in life. So, you know, you can call that fear-mongering. I call that being aware of your surroundings. The things that's going on, I want to cite one other thing that's weird to me, is that as I continue to see Orwell's 1984 Nazi Germany coming into that crossroad there, and our country becoming what I really believe that's what it's going to become. You look at how people are reacting right now. I have literally had to be deleting people off my Facebook recently because I have been getting into it with people, because I can't tolerate no more stupidity. I can agree to disagree with people, but I just can't tolerate stupid people. There's just no more room in Luke's life for that. Is that I told someone, I shared this chart. I'll put the picture up right here so you can see this. And I circled the coronavirus deaths. And please keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want anybody to die. But if you look at these deaths compared to abortion deaths right at the bottom, it is night and day comparison. And so the person's like, well, what if it was your mother or father or blah, blah, blah. I said, you know, the flu could take out my mother and father. Heart disease, there's a lot of things. I worry every day about my mother and father passing away because they're very advanced in years, right? And they're elderly. I said that I would trade, if the Most High Yah took my life out, I'd gladly trade it if I died by coronavirus, knowing that Planned Parenthood is closed and not killing tens of thousands of precious human lives that have yet to have an opportunity to succeed in this life or to choose to do good or evil. You know, I'm so glad that if that was the case, that I died knowing that still hundreds of thousands of lives were saved because Planned Parenthood wasn't open killing people. And that's just one example. There's a lot of other things that people done. But this coronavirus thing has just gotten everybody such a stir that they can't see the light for the trees. I mean, everybody's a freaking doctor all of a sudden. I'm not a doctor. I'm an electrician. I'm just telling you, I can figure out numbers. Like this says 20-something thousand deaths. Down here is almost 10 million deaths. I don't think that coronavirus is that important. I'm just saying. If my mom and dad died of it tomorrow, you know what? They got a lot of other health conditions going on. So like if they got the flu, that could be the finisher. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, no disrespect, mother and father. We're all realists, and like I said, you have to start understanding that people don't think on the same level as you. I don't care if people say, well, you're bleeding heart Republican or bleeding heart liberal. We're well past party lines. We're well past even, morals anymore, because, I mean, people ascribe to be a Christian, and the next thing I know, I look over there, and they're just as bad as the pagan, because, I mean, they share almost identical beliefs. They just label it a little different. To actually be a servant of the Most High Yah and walk in the way, and the whole worldly system, that's even a deeper level of looking at things. And we're at the point in history and humanity where that you have got to start looking at things differently. I don't know how many people here lately has become preppers because of this going on. And then they're seeing how that with the financial situation, eventually this country is going to just come to a halt, come to the skids. The whole economic thing around the world is just going to fall apart. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand that's a manufactured thing coming. How do you think that the mark of the beast, forced worship, RFID chips, controlled buying and selling, and all this stuff is going to come to be? You have to destroy the fundamental pillars of financial sovereignty, country's sovereignty as a people. And the last thing I'll say to this, because I don't want to ramble on, I just want to clarify to people that right now is an educational time. It's not a time to live in fear. For those of us that's been preppers for years, if there was ever a exercise like that one guy said the other day and slipped up, and everybody up there at the podium was like, whoa, he just said exercise. This is an exercise for us too, because you should see what you see right now and say to yourself, okay, everything's going to get back to normal again. Now, the normal that it was is not when it is going to be like when I was a child. There's going to be a normalcy in life, but it's not going to be the normalcy that we used to know. Now, when it falls off the skids again, times that by 100, because it's either the New World Order's full establishment or the trumpets start, right? Well, we've done seen the toilet paper fiasco of 2020, and we've seen all the rest of the stupidity. So we magnify that. That's what we now should see and expect. And you just look around. If you're a prepper right now, last few things I've seen in this video. You don't own guns, right? You say to yourself, I don't own guns, all right? Right on the checklist. I didn't have enough prep food. Right on checklist. I didn't have enough toilet paper. You know what? I had a well drilled, but I didn't have the electrical hooked into my generator or my solar system yet. Need to get that done. And you just take this time as a great assessment tool. I mean, this is one of the best times to assess this that you ever could, because like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this right here, this is what you're going to get out of the blender eventually. And you don't need to be afraid about it. For those that trust in the Most High Yah, you can have perfect peace, right? I don't care what the world does to me, because eventually they're probably going to murder me. They're eventually going to probably do terrible things to those of us that serve the Most High Yah. The thing we should be worried about is the one that's going to sit on the great white throne judgment that can destroy both mind, body, your whole the whole essence of your being, right? In like fire, right? That's the things we should be concerned about. Not these governments, because man will die. Everything has an expiration date. The United States of America has an expiration date. This world has an expiration date. We have an expiration date. So don't need to be troubled about that. But the kingdom of Yah is forever. So guys, as always, till we see you again here, Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, keep your head held high. Learn from this. This is not fear-mongering. This is educational time. And until we see you at the channel, guys, I'll have more info up soon about the conference as well. Hope the Most High Yah Baruch can keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends. In Yahushua name.